My name is Leigh Goldstein, and I can't really say any more than Renee said in that introduction. I don't think there's anything left at the company that I can't do because I do everything. I moderate the trade room. I help people with tech support, and we have a great place. But I want to get through some of the preliminary stuff, get through the disclosures that by law we have to show you. I just want everyone to be aware that you've got to trade smart. You can lose your money trading. You know that if you trade more than you have in your account, and if you don't treat your margins properly, and if you just don't do things correctly, if you get out of control, you can wind up in trouble. So trade smart, trade carefully, trade when you're ready to trade, okay? The biggest reason that most traders fail also is they underfund their account. So if you're going to be a trader, put enough money in your account so you can trade properly. What happens, and what I see all the time, is someone will have like $2,500 in their account, they'll lose a trade, and then immediately you go into panic mode and you're afraid to trade for the rest of your life because you've lost, 20% of your money and you don't want to lose any more. So I say it over and over and over: fund your account properly, do it properly. This is a business, it's serious. While you can have fun trading and have great community with people, it's serious business, and the market wants your money, and it will take it if you let it. So getting that out of the way, at JOBB, we are quite a bit different than the average company. We do a lot of things besides just trade the news. And we're kind of like the bad guy, because everybody was always warned, man, if you trade the news, you're going to lose all your money, because trading the news is unbelievably dangerous, and it's risky, and it's foolish, and you should never do it. And it's not true. You don't want to trade the news improperly. You want to trade it and be trained to trade it, because it can be dangerous and you can get into trouble trading the news. But you can get into a lot more trouble if you don't know about the news. And so my goal here today, at a minimum, is to give you a whole bunch of free information that's going to help you as a trader, no matter what you do, whether you trade news or options or anything, it doesn't matter. Vince is a smart guy, but he knows as well as I know that if you're in an option trade and you have an option trade with Apple and you didn't know that Apple's earnings were coming out, you might get killed in that options trade. So you better know what's going on with the news, or you're going to lose money. So the first thing I want you to know is I want you to know about certain websites that you absolutely have to go to, have to know they exist. And bear with me, my computer, I was not the person who was doing this webinar today. My partner, Eric, was doing it. He's in Florida, and he had to get out of where he was because of the hurricane. So I might be a tiny bit slower showing you a couple of things, and I just want to make sure my computer's working properly also. So Forex Factory is one of the main websites that you can use to protect yourself. And how do you protect yourself? You go to forexfactory.com. You should do it every day if you're a trader, whether you trade the news or not. And they'll list what news is coming out and the time of day that it's happening. And on top of that, they'll also list things like whether somebody important is speaking. There might be an FOMC member talking. Things like that are going to affect prices of stocks, options, anything, futures that you might trade. Forex, for instance, today, the ECB had their minimum bid rate. It's a tradable news event, but you didn't know at 8:30. Most people didn't know that they had a press conference. And if you were trading gold or the dollar or the DAX, it might radically change the price of that instrument. So you want to be aware, you want to be careful, and you want to be smart, and you want to know what news is trading. So Forex Factory is number one. Number two website that we like very, very much is a website called investing.com. And one of the things that I love about investing.com is not only do they have all sorts of interesting general news, but they also have a great calendar. You just go to news, economic calendar, and then you can see this week's calendar. You just click on this week. It's very simple. So it's investing, www.investing.com. and you've got a whole week of the news. You could see what's going on in the world with the current news, Australia's GDP up or down. Believe it or not, all of this has an effect on what you're doing. If you're trading the YM, if you're trading the ES, news has an effect on all this stuff. A lot of people love trading gold. A lot of people love trading oil. Oil and gold are radically affected by what's going on in the news. And if you were trading oil today and you didn't realize that the oil report, the storage report, was a day late this week because of the holiday, the Labor Day holiday, and you were in an oil trade at 11 o'clock, not normally the 10:30 time, you might have gotten hurt on an oil trade because you didn't know what was going on in the news. So I'm begging you, take my advice. Take these sites, write them down, mark them in your memory, investing.com, forexfactory.com, any calendar, econoday.com, great calendar. Any of those calendars, check them every day. They'll give you a heads up as to what's trading, what's going on with the news, and that is going to radically affect the price of every instrument that you're dealing with. Because what really is news trading? It's really very simple. News trading is a report gets released, a news item gets released, and because of that release, and many of them are at exactly the same time, and that's what JOBB specializes in, but at exactly the same time, 9 times out of 10, that oil report will be released. And we will know that, and we will try to base a trade around that oil report. Or on Thursdays at 10:30, the natural gas report is released. Okay, we know tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning, Canada is going to release their jobs report. We will trade that report. Okay, we know that is at 8:30, and we'll trade the Canadian dollar on that. At JOBB, we trade futures only, but I do hear from people that they use our software, they use our reports to trade Forex. Forex also moves radically on news releases. So just be aware, be careful, know what the news is. We trade the Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar, gold. Anything that gets affected by the news, we will happily trade. It's easy to do. It's not complicated. We have a trade room. We show people how to do it. And it's actually a lot of fun to trade the news. Let me show you something really fun, because that's the whole idea. Last Friday is the most fun report that we have at JOBB. We trade the non-farm payroll report. And let me just find the one that we traded Friday. I put them all together. See, ironically, I put this all together for Eric, which is kind of funny. And now I'm here doing it. So give me half a second. And I'll show you the non-farm payroll report. I hope I have Fridays. Yes, I do. So last Friday, the United States has a very, very important news report. It's probably one of the most popular reports and the most powerful reports that come out. It gets the most press. It's known as the Jobs Report, or NFP, non-farm payrolls. 8:29 in 7 seconds, this report gets released. While I'm doing this, I might as well show you what we do, because that's why I'm here. We have a software program called JOBB. It trades the news at the moment the news gets released. We do exactly what your mom told you not to do. Don't trade the news when the news comes out, because you'll get killed. So what we do is we put brackets around the news. We know that the current price, actually an arrow will show up in a second. This report happened so fast, our arrow didn't even have a chance to show up. We were trading the bonds on this particular report, and you can see it exploded up. That's how fast the trade was. The trade was 8:30. You can see the clock. It's 8:30. The trade was over, and we were up over $468. Live money, real money. This is not a sim account. That was a real account. Okay. We do that a lot. We don't do it every time. Every report doesn't work. But that particular report, I'll show it to you again because it happened so fast, I didn't even get to explain it. Our software puts brackets around the current price. Okay, you got 8 seconds before this report's going to be released. We put brackets. There's our brackets. If the price is going to explode up, we're going to go long and we're going to buy one. If it's going to go short, we're going to buy one. A bond is what we're trading. If you look, it says ZB. That's US bonds. Boom. That report was literally a second. It was over in a second. Ironically, I want to show you, this was actually Friday's report. Okay, that was an older report. Okay, this was actually Friday's. That was a member's report that they sent us. His account was blacked out. He made $593 on the non-farm report. We trade the non-farm report. That's probably been one of our most popular, famous reports. Our members love it. This was a member who traded gold before we started trading gold on it. We now trade gold on the non-farm report. He made $1,400 on the non-farm report. Literally, if you really look at this chart, you can see that it was a total of 3 candles on a 1-minute chart, and the trade took place on the 3rd candle. It started to move early, and then gold exploded on the news, okay? And that is very often how our trades go, and that's one of our trades. But so let me backtrack a little bit, tell you about our company, and I'll go into a little bit more of our reports as well. Eric Spiker is one of our partners. As I said, he lives in Florida. Eric was actually going to do the webinar today, and because of the hurricane, he wanted to make his house safe. And so I let him out of it, gave him a break, and Eric's not doing the webinar today. Our founder is Jay Offner, the gentleman in the middle here. Jay is a U.S. submarine commander in the Navy Reserves, and he also works for the Department of Defense, and he designed our software. Jay also sends what we call the HIRA, okay? And the HIRA is a report. He actually sends 2 different HIRAs. He sends the daily HIRA, which looks like this. The ISM non-manufacturing report is a very popular report. We traded it on Wednesday, and we made money on it Wednesday. It was a profitable report. The HIRA report, and actually, if you sign up for our service tonight, we'll send you these reports for the rest of the year for free, okay? So just sign up for our service tonight, and when you sign up, we will send you the HIRA reports. High Impact Report Alerts is what it stands for. They tell you how to trade our trades. We send these reports the day before the trade. That's also the beauty of our service. We know the day before how we're going to trade. We also know a schedule of how we're going to trade. We don't have to sit and watch charts all day. If you want to trade an hour a week, you could pick the reports that you want to trade by going to our website, freetraderoom.com, okay? Right now, all of our reports are free. All of our trades are free. It'll be changing in the near future. I'll show you that real quickly also. freetraderoom.com. Well, I don't think I typed it right, which I never do, but I'll show it to you in a second. And at freetraderoom.com, what we do is we show people every single trade for the week that we're going to trade. And we have it on freetraderoom, www.freetraderoom.com. Every single trade for the week is there with the invitation to that trade. Okay, because we currently use GoToWebinar technology for our trades. Let me give you an example what it looks like. freetraderoom.com. You can tell from my enthusiasm, I love this stuff. I really enjoy this, and I enjoy being the trade room moderator. We have a lot of fun. I take it very seriously, but I also recognize the fact that if you take life too seriously, you really don't enjoy it. So I'm kind of a very relaxed person, but I'm a really good teacher, and I really help people learn how to trade the news. And I'm also helping people learn how to trade what I call with support and resistance. I have these special trades called magnet trades. And we also have something called range trades. I'll show you our range trades as well. And we have trap trades. And we have a trade room where we have a fantastic community of people. Every time we have a an official trade room trade. People meet in our trade room. We discuss the trade. We go over how to set it up using our software. It's very easy. And these are all the invitations. These were all the trades that we traded this week. This week was a little bit slow, believe it or not. We traded the euro minimum bid rate this morning. We had natural gas and energy report. Tomorrow morning, we'll trade Canadian jobs. We traded Australian retail and trade balance. So just to give you an example, that's freetraderoom.com, and that's where we put all our trades. The day before the trade, we send you a report. The report looks like this. It shows you how many tick stop you're going to use, how long to wait before you cancel a report. With news trading, there are protocols that we follow to make news trading safe. If a report doesn't fill in 20 seconds, this particular report gets canceled. We don't try to trade it. And the brackets that you saw, this particular trade has a 5-tick bracket. So it's very easy. And then there's a little bit of history about the trade, and that's our HIRA report. We'll give them to you for free. And that's something that Jay designed. He invented the whole system. He's a really smart guy, and that's Jay Offner. He's our founder. Okay, that's me. I've got 2 kids. That's my setup using a competitor's product, but that's okay. I'm just like you. I was a member of JOBB, and I tried every single system under the sun. You name it, I've tried it. So I'm also happy to tell you what my experiences were about certain products that I've used. We are very, very honest at JOBB. I'm not saying other people aren't. I'm just telling you what we are. We are extremely transparent. When we have a bad trade, you see it. When we have a good trade, you see it, because more often than not, we're doing it live in our trade room, okay? So we want to help you to learn to do what we think can be a very, very exciting and profitable way to trade. And there's a right way and a wrong way to trade news. If you just willy-nilly trade every single news report that we send you, you probably won't make money. But if you learn how to do a little bit of testing and understand that markets change and that sometimes a report will be a great report and then sometimes it'll change and you may want to move to other reports, well, that's something we help you do in the room because we do a lot of the testing. So very simple, news trading 101. When news is released, for instance, when the amount of storage for oil is released, when that number is released, it causes the price of the oil futures to move radically. And at JOBB, we trade on that movement. We trade on the Australian ADP. When they announced GDP, I mean their GDP data, we trade the Australian dollar on that. I said ADP because there is an ADP report by the ADP payroll company, and that's a report that we trade, and we trade gold on that report. It happens to move the price of gold. So we've learned over the years, we've been in business since 2013, and we've studied news reports over and over and over. We know what instruments are going to move on the various news reports. So we go over that in our trade room as well, and we help you to do that. And that's important. It's important not just to randomly think that, oh, okay, you know, the jobs report's coming out today, I'll trade, you know, the British pound. That's going to be the best thing to trade. Well, that's not going to be the best thing to trade necessarily on the US jobs report. It might be on the British jobs report, okay? So we want to teach you how to do it properly. Right now, we use NinjaTrader. We have software available for version 7, and we have the beta version of version 8 available. If you want to use version 8, we can supply it. You're welcome to use it. I personally like our version 7 better. I like the software better on version 7, but we do have it for both, and it works very well on both. And NinjaTrader is the platform that we support. The websites that we like, again, that's very important, forexfactory.com, myfxbook.com, investing.com, any of the Econoday websites are great. Any site that has a calendar that shows you the news is a great site, in my opinion, because it'll help you. You want to know what's going on that day while you're trading so you don't get stuck doing something unexpected, or so actually something unexpected doesn't get done to you. You want to be in control That's the key. We use futures instead of Forex because if you trade Forex, I don't have to tell you why we don't use Forex. You know what happens when you try to trade Forex right at the moment that a news report is released. Something funny happens with those prices. So the futures market is regulated. The Forex market is less regulated, if at all. It's recommended by us. If you're going to trade the news, trade futures. I'm not saying don't trade Forex. Forex has its place. It's great and it's fun to trade, but it's difficult to trade it for the news because the price is manipulated at the time of the news. We have a trap trade program, which is very interesting. And let me show you a trap trade just so you get an idea. It's totally different than the breakout trade. I think the best thing to do is let me show you another interesting trade that is a breakout trade. And the reason I want to do a breakout trade is I just want to show you one more so it gives you a better feeling for the trap trade. Okay, this is a breakout trade. This happens to be the ADP report last month. It's a great report. It's one of our favorite reports. It's one of our best behaving reports, meaning it's a report that makes us money on a regular basis. It's a report that takes place at 8:15 in the morning, and it's going to take place in about 15 seconds. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, about 5 seconds. The usual routine, you see our brackets are created. We trade gold. You can see this is a very current report. I'm not trading old data here. I'm trading very current stuff to show you that this isn't something we did 10 years ago. This is something we did recently, and we made money on it. And every trade isn't an $8 million trade. Some trades are $100 trades or $200 trades. I'm a firm believer in, and in fact, we're starting a brand new free service for our members where we're going to trade smaller. I've been noticing that there are many, many reports that we haven't been trading, but those reports have been behaving really well and they've been making money on a regular basis. So we're going to start a new service and include it in our existing service for our members. That's just going to trade more reports on a smaller trade, in a smaller trade. So that, for instance, ironically, let me see if I can find it. I might even have it right here where I was doing a test this morning. If I have it, I'll show it to you. I was testing the Canadian manufacturing report. Actually, it was Canadian building permits and our non-farm productivity. And I was trading them and testing them both together. And if it doesn't work in a second, I'll just go on to something else because my computer's been really, here it is. Okay, so you could see I've got two different trades going on at once. On the left side, I'm testing the non-farm productivity, which is a quarterly report. And I know that this report, normally I trade it live when it trades with preliminary data. There's different types of data that gets released. Preliminary data, just because we know it, and we'll teach you this, preliminary data is more active, okay? It makes the market move more than revised data because it's data that comes out first, so it's more shocking. And when data is more shocking, it moves the market more. So you could see that both our trades were filled. The Canadian building permit report is slower and it's on the right. The gold report, I had a very small stop on gold. You could see I was entered at around 60 and my stop after I hit my first target was only 2 ticks away. I already hit my first target and made 80 bucks on gold because it was a fast trade. My point is I wanted you to see this new type of trade that we're introducing to our members because it's a great style of trading. We're going to have a lot of new trades. We had 2 of them today that once we start doing them, that's 2 extra trades that we'll have to trade with very, very low risk also. They're very low risk trades as well. We also trade a trade called the Kaishan report. The Kaishan report made our members $120 last, I think that was last Wednesday night or last Tuesday night. It's a Chinese report It's a manufacturing report based out of China that happens to work really well on the Australian dollar. Now, how would you know that if you didn't subscribe to our service? You just wouldn't. You'd have no way of knowing it. So that's what we bring to the table. We teach you how to trade the news. We teach you how to make money. And we try to do it as low risk as humanly possible. And that is the key. That's the key with news trading. Here's a trap trade. I was going to show you a trap trade. The FOMC is one of the trades that we trade the trap trade on. The FOMC minutes or the FOMC announcement. What happens with a trap trade is we put two orders above and below the current price. We go long if the market falls, and we go short if the market pops. So I call it a pop and drop trade if it goes long. And it's a very exciting trade, but it's not as fast as the breakout trade. And it's a trade where what we expect to happen is that the market's going to move up, fill us short, and then as it reverses, we're going to make our money the opposite way. Or the market's going to drop and we're going to go long and we're going to make our money the opposite way. So that's the beauty of the trap trade. It's a reverse direction, very low slippage trade because of that. Because it is low slippage, reverse direction. You could see we took some heat on that trade, but the key is never to panic. We felt comfortable that we knew what was going to happen on this trade, and our data and our research on this particular trade, it worked beautifully. We made over $500 on that trade. And then we have a third type of trade that we call the range trade, but the range trade is much more than a range trade. The range trade is a time-based trade. You can design any trade that you want based around any time that you want, okay? For instance, you could do the opening of the bond market, okay? Here's the opening of the bond market at 8:20, and our range trade, it opens at 8:20 every morning. Our range trade can be set up so that any amount of ticks that you want above that opening or below that opening can enter you into the market, and you can be in an automatic time-based range trade. The range was based on the fact that we used 5 minutes before the opening to get our high and low. But you could have used 30 minutes. You could have traded the oil 9 o'clock open. That's a very popular one that people do. This happens to be the oil one. And you could see oil's going to open here at 9 o'clock. We have a range trade based around, it draws the range. It's going to trade if the range is broken 3 ticks above the high of the range or 3 ticks below. It's going to pull you into the trade. As you can see, it pulls you in. You have 2 orders resting because that's how we set the trade up. It's going to hit our first target very shortly here. This was a pretty fast range trade. Usually the range trade could take a couple of minutes. It's usually not an instantaneous trade. It's a trade that has to work itself out. And there's all sorts of times that you can do it. Some people love to trade the range trade between 9:30 and 10 on the mini S&P because that's a very popular time that the S&P will break up or break out or break down. And you could see oil made a quick $100 when that trade was done. We had only spent 1 minute and 12 seconds in that trade, and it worked very nicely. So, but the beauty of this trade, I call it a design your own trade. You can design any trade you want around any time frame. And so that's 3 types of trades that we offer all as part of our service with JOBB. We have members that trade silver. Here's one member, he traded the silver open live, made $175 on that trade. We have members that trade the London Open on oil, okay? And I can tell this is oil because it's CL. And he created, or she created, you could look at the time, it's 3 in the morning. That was the London Open. People do all sorts of creative things with our software. Our software over time has become a tremendous automatic or semi-automatic, I call it, news trader, but it's also a semi-automatic You can use it as a discretionary trader. If you like a certain type of day that you want to trade, our software can be set up to trade that time of day. Okay, so it's very important to realize that we don't offer just news trading. Now, this is one of my favorite trades. About 2 weeks ago, I decided to go a little bit crazy, and I told my members I was going to do 2 trades live at the same time on the US Retail News Report. I was going to trade gold and bonds because I really felt that gold and bonds were going to break out from the US retail news, because that's a really popular trade for us. And it's a trade that tends to explode. And we know that that trade explodes because we trade it all the time and we watch it explode. When I test it, it explodes. So we create a bracket, and that's a pretty big bracket. Look, there's the current price. There's the arrow. It's a pretty big bracket with bonds, but I knew it was going to explode. I was also trading gold. On the right, gold exploded, made me over $400. Bonds made me over $100, and I got out of the trade because, frankly, it was getting beyond my control. It was moving too fast, and I wanted to take my profit and go home. I made over $500 on that trade, and let me take a look. That took me all of 15 seconds. Okay, no joke. It was an 8:30 trade. I was done trading at 8:15, 8:30 and 15 seconds. I don't make this stuff up, okay? I'm showing you live, real accounts. That's the truth. It's what we specialize in. We trade these trades all the time. And I've told you this before, not every trade is a winner. This morning, the ECB, we lost money on that trade. It went the opposite way than what we were in the market for, and that one got us. And that will happen. You will lose trades, but if you trade smart and you pick the right trades to trade, you'll have results like this. We call this particular trade a bread and butter trade. We call it a bread and butter trade because it feeds us. It feeds us money. So we like to call them bread and butter trades. This is one of our favorite trades right now. It's the ISM manufacturing, and it's traded on the yen. We trade it every month without fail. It's for the past 7 months, I don't think it's had a single bad trade. If it's had one, I'll let you call me out on one bad trade out of 7. That's how good this trade's been. You can see it's making money right now as we're talking. The trade's almost done. It's a bread and butter. Bread and butter, it's over already, actually. We call it bread and butter because what happened was it hit all my targets, took us out of the trade without me having to do anything at all to the trade itself. Okay, that's a bread and butter trade. Every now and then when we're crazy and we want to trade natural gas, this was an example of a bread and butter trade on natural gas, which can happen. Natural gas has been a little bit weird lately. It hasn't been acting the way it used to act years ago. Natural gas today didn't barely move. It was a tough trade to trade live if you traded it. I didn't, because I haven't liked the way natural gas has been moving. But in this particular trade, that's the way natural gas used to trade. You could see I had a 15-tick target. It hit my target in 4 seconds, took me out of the trade. We call that a bread and butter trade, okay? So what we do again is we trade the news. We trade it as safely as we humanly can. We have a members area. What do you get? All the same stuff that everybody gives you. We want to give you our free reports. We want you to sign up today. Go to newjob.info. It's 2 B's in job. Use coupon code 2017, and we're going to give you everything that we have. And we have a lot of stuff. I can't even tell you everything we have because it'll take too much time, but I'll give it a shot. You know I'm going to do that. Here's one of our members made $4,500 on an oil report. He was trading 10 contracts, okay? I want to be transparent. He was trading 10 contracts. Well, we normally charge $197 for. We're just going to charge $97 if you join tonight by midnight. And it renews at $97 a month. It's coupon 2017. You go to newjob.info. $97 a month. Almost every trade we make, almost every trade, not everyone, but almost every trade. And let me show you a couple. Let me just show you a couple of things that we do, just so you know that I'm not making this stuff up. Here's some ADP trades. $106 profit, live account. Here's another one the next month. Hey, lost 181 bucks. Every now and then you lose. Here's a member, he made $1,250 trading bonds, okay? Trade Room member makes $1,250 on bond trade. We recommend it on the CPI news report, trading bonds. Here's an ADP report, our member, because members send us their screenshots because they love sharing their profits, made $125. Here's an August CPI trade. A member made $81. Here's a Canadian job report, which is appropriate. We have this trade coming up tomorrow. It is a high slippage report. You can see that because it moved a lot, but we only made 9 ticks on that. That was my account, and I can tell. I just know my account by looking at it. And we made 9 ticks. Okay, here's a 10-year bond report, very recent, August, okay? Last month, made $187 trading the 10-year bond auction. Here's the same auction, different person. Here's the 7-year bond, made $218 on that. I didn't have my automatic price showing, so you'll have to trust me on that. You can see where I was filled. I was filled at 26. I got out at 29 and 30. I had multiple contracts. It's $30 a tick with bonds. I'm not making it up. Here's an ADP report, $93. As I said, not every single report makes millions of dollars. Okay, here's a bond report, $375 profit. Okay, here's a couple of non-farm reports because these are our favorite. I wanted to show you Fridays because that was a big report for us. We literally just changed the way that we're trading non-farm. We traded a couple of different ways. We traded normally with bonds, but the bonds haven't been behaving themselves that well, so we do trade it with the DAX. Now, when we trade it with the DAX, here's what happened the last time we used the DAX, which was a couple of months ago. The non-farm report with the DAX made about $200, I think in about 20 seconds. It exploded up, if I remember correctly. Let's see if I'm right on this, on the direction. I think it exploded up. Yep. And trades over $202 on the DAX. The DAX is a German instrument that is 25 euros per point. It's 2 ticks per point, so it's 12.50 euros, 12.50 euros per tick. It's a pricey index to trade, but it can make you some serious money if you learn which news reports to trade it on, okay? So let's get back to what I'm going to give you, because we're going to give you a lot. 97 bucks. If you can't afford $97 to learn how to trade the news, then it's fine. You don't want to trade the news and you don't want to learn how to do it. And that's okay. You might want to trade options. You might want to do something else. What's great about us, though, and don't forget, you can do it on a schedule. You go to freetraderoom.com, check your schedule, and then before you get going, just so you could sign up, so you can do this, go to newjob.info, save $100 on our normal sign-up price, type in coupon code 2017, and you can sign up for $97. Okay, do it by tonight, and I'll give you the rest of the year's reports for free. Now, I think that's a ridiculous price. And all the things you're going to get, I just want to show you, you'll get all our educational videos, but you're going to also get my email address, and that's what I want to show you, okay? Bear with me, I goofed because I had the wrong screens. I'll never be able to show that again, I don't believe. You're going to have to trust me. I'll show you our non-job, our non-farm report. Let me show you a couple more reports, but go to newjob, JOBB, .info, $97. I want to end on time. I want to get Renee back on time. So I'm just going to show you a couple of quick things. Newjob, JOBB.info. Sign up for our service. My personal email address is procol33, Procol 33 at Gmail. Procol 33 at Gmail. And that's my personal email. Here's a member made $312 trading the non-farm with bonds. Here's another member trade, $3,200. No joke. I know who it is. He did trade 10 contracts, I believe, on that. Okay. You're not going to make $3,200 by trading one contract. Okay. It's not going to happen. But you could make $437, but you're better off. We made it trading two. Okay. We made $437. Actually, this wasn't, it was us. That is my account. I can tell. That's my account. $437, literally 6 seconds. Okay. That was a 6-second trade. Non-farm has been a big winner. It went through a period where it had a couple of bad trades, so we went to gold with it. Another great trade that we've done a lot has been Canadian retail. Made $170 for that member. We've loved the ADP trade. It's been a great one for us. But I'm going to leave one graphic on for you to see. Okay, I prepared this for Eric. It's really a perfect example of our system and how great our system is. And I hope this, you know what, I may show you another one because that one doesn't show dollars. I want to show you real dollars that somebody made. I'll make it the last thing that I show you, because people make real dollars. And it doesn't have to be $1 million, okay? The point is, people are making real dollars trading our trades, okay? Go to newjob, JOBB.info, coupon code 2017, and for $97, we'll teach you how to do this. You can come into our trade room, check us out, learn how to do it, newjob.info. Save some money by joining today. And I want to thank you all for listening to me. My name is Leigh Goldstein, procall33@gmail.com. Email me any questions you have, and we'll get you signed up for the service at JOBB. Thanks, Renee, for having me. I put you right back on schedule. You're ready to go for your next member. Renee, I'm going to mute myself, and I want to thank you very much. New job, JOBB.info. Sign up for $97, everybody, and join our wonderful service.